I was just curious. I know that you mentioned young people, and I definitely do think that, as a young person, maybe I'm biased, but there is a unique value. What new ideas and just new um, ways of thinking do you think that young people bring to your workplace?
Well, certainly, if somebody who started coding many, many years ago, when I was in high school, the whole notion of software development and how coding is done today is very different than it was done years and years ago. And the technology advancements and how we will grow even more over time, bringing autonomy into the software development life cycle and offerings, and a lot of new capabilities and processing that will come are going to create ways to do things that people who started coding years ago can't imagine. So just bringing new thought to the problem solving is something that young people can do. The other thing that I think is an opportunity for us is many folks I'll say in the generation that you're in, have lived their whole lives with technology ever changing.
Yes.
Many folks who grew up when I did, that pace was far slower, right? You're used to change. You're used to having the technology move over time in a rapid fashion and being able to accommodate that kind of thinking and that change, to see things in a way that maybe some of the more senior folks who have great skills, don't get me wrong, great technical skills, great leadership skills, but marrying those things together in a way where teams can have new ideas, rapid change, the thought process being one that thinks more towards the future than the past, with folks who have tried and true experience in getting things done is a great marriage.
And what I found interesting is that, you mentioned that there is truly no typical day at your workplace. So I would imagine that it's incredibly important to be able to adjust to constantly shifting events and different assignments.
It absolutely is an opportunity to have a lot of variety in the workday, but in terms of problem solving and innovation, we seek people who come forward with a variety of ideas. I look for somebody to knock on the door and say, I have a thought, and probably it's a wild idea, but here's what I've been thinking. That brings us a way of addressing a problem that maybe we hadn't thought about before. The other benefit of that is we can take things we already have and apply them differently because somebody sees how they might be applied differently. And that can come with just fresh eyes and new thinking. And so I welcome that. That piece, this notion of innovation and bringing in new ideas, really is the hinge pin for that is inclusion. Inclusion of people who have different experiences, different backgrounds, just different thought. So, there's one thing to have diversity in terms of the population of people on a team. The actual secret additional sauce is including their thinking in the outcome, welcoming their thought to change the course of teams in terms of what they thought they were going to do versus where they end up, and being able to leverage the ideas of many is a feature. And so that part of our thinking, that part of my workday is critical to our future.
And I think that's really interesting because everyone always says we value diversity, but I don't think enough people actually focus on the inclusion part of diversity, that you need to take it a step further and actually take those ideas that the diversity brings and include it in whatever you're doing.
And to jump off of Tommy's point, I also think that it's fascinating that you mentioned inclusion of ideas. Because it's essential to have a diverse workplace, but it's also essential when you're in those meetings that there's this open-mindedness. I found it very interesting.
I look at that as all hands on deck, right? So we need everybody's ideas, and that's why finding a place where you can work, finding a school that offers you the opportunity to contribute that way is important. And these are choices you make over time, right? Where do you go? Where should you spend your time? What activities, teams, programs should you be involved with? And so those places, like She Rocks the World, gives you an opportunity to strengthen your muscle around contributing and how you contribute. And over time, you'll find places that welcome you and welcome your ideas. That's where you want to be.